I've never seen such huge layouts in the post-harmonization era. Right now, let's explore Bloomsbury Residences. Right now, we're going to dive straight into Bloomsbury Residences, and something very unique about Bloomsbury is that we actually seen a layout of 6-bedder inside this project, which is very rare in today's market. And in this project, we actually have 2 units like that. The previous times, even before harmonization and all that, the largest layout I've ever seen is actually a 5-bedder suite, which is also by the same developers at Jadescape Residences. But right now, they're actually doing something very special for Bloomsbury. So here are some things I'll be sharing with you in this video. Number 1 is the project overview. Number 2 is the layouts of the project. Number 3 is the views and site plan of the project. And number 4, the exit strategy of this project. And number 5, which is a bit of a speculative sharing because it's based on my own analysis for the pricing of this project. So let's dive straight into the project overview. Okay, before I get started, help me like this video so you can reach more people out there. Thank you. Let's understand a little bit more about the project information. This is a joint venture with Qingjian Realty and 4C. So the developers actually had projects like Jadescape, and another one is Hillock Green. Total of 3 blocks, one 23-story block and another of 21-story, and thirdly is the 14-story block. So this is actually very unique because this is land plot. When the government actually released it, they have a different height restrictions for certain areas. So that is to actually enhance the wind flow of the projects. We have a total of 358 units, but an alarming thing is that because it's a car light area, the car parks is actually 143. So I honestly do not know what's the future impact of this, because moving forward, I understand the government has plans for car light areas in Singapore, but what if someone buys a car? And recently there's a lot of EVs on sale and all that, so we really do not know what's the future impact of having such little car park lot. So for the architect of this project is actually ADDP Architects. Landscape consultant is EcoPlan Asia. Project interior designer is Index Design. M&E engineer, United Project Consultants Private Limited, and CNS Engineers Alliance Private Limited. Okay, so for the unit distribution, actually we have 2-bedders all the way to 4-bedders for the typical units, and for the penthouse units, we actually have 4-bedders all the way to 6-bedder penthouse. This is the design in terms of how they design the heights and all. So you can see that there's a high zone and also there's a mid zone in this project, so as to allow the proper wind flow in this whole area. We can see a total of 2-bedders of 53%, the 3-bedders at 25.7%, 4-bedders at 19%, and of course the penthouses, only 8 units, 2.2%. So with this is the overall distribution in terms of the block-to-block distributions. So right now, let's talk about the layouts. So as per what we saw, the 2-bedders, we actually have a dumbbell layout where the layout is pretty unique because the walls can be hacked over here. So later I'll share with you the difference between this and another project where it's a non-PPVC project, so that you can actually understand how the layouts can be flexible. So all this flexibility allows many young families to actually enhance your layout. Recently also HDB is piloting this in the white layouts in their HDBs. So I think moving forward, a lot of families prefer the flexibility of conversion of layout. So right now the second layout is a 2-bed premium. You can actually see that one of the walls also can be hacked, and of course with this you can possibly enclosable this kitchen area lah. This is the 2-bed premium, another layout where the kitchen is an L-shaped kitchen, and of course the layouts is also having a bathroom that is able to have natural ventilation. 2-bed premium plus study. This is actually the show unit layout. So if you want to take a look at how the space planning is being done very specially, you can actually come to this show flat to take a look, because the study area is actually right in front, where it's a white space that most families can be able to redesign it, probably to do a glass enclosure, but of course you can actually open up when you want to enhance the space of the unit. Another layout is a 3+ study. So this 3+ study is having a Z entrance where there's a lot of privacy in the unit, and of course enclosed kitchen right here. And like I mentioned to you, this is also a flexible layout that walls can be hacked if needed. But of course, if you maintain this, is very good because there's also a study area in the walkway, which also enhances space planning as well. In the next layout is actually the 3-bed premium, 980 square feet. So for this layout, actually you do have a bomb shelter, which also doubles as a storeroom for most families, including a WC right behind. And as per mentioned, this is a harmonized project. The aircon ledges are not counted in the floor area. So in the next layout is a 3 premium plus study. So for this 3 premium plus study, you can actually have a lot of spaces, including a study area right in the middle of the walkway also. The next one is also another 3 premium plus study. So this one a little bit different in terms of the layouts, where the dining area is actually having a larger area for you to maneuver around. Okay, so the 3 premium plus flexi is a better layout in terms of my own thoughts, because compared to the 3 plus study, of course the size is much bigger, but you actually do have a proper flexi room if you need to have a study area at the side for some privacy. Because honestly, I cannot imagine, right, doing Zoom meetings in the walkway where my family is walking past me, and it's a bit uncomfortable lah. If you require a very separate space for your own Zoom meetings and all that, you can actually use the flexi room. Of course, later part I'll touch on another factor of the development, where the developers actually enhances some smart facilities for you to use. In this layout, if you want to change it, you can also have a very wide living room area for you to actually host your guests even more efficiently. So in the next layout is a 4 premium plus study, and with this you can actually see that this area is also very spacious, enough for hosting guests and all. So this is also very special because the layout is 1173, including a side study down here. The next one is the 4 premium plus study. This one is also having all the bedrooms having a same frontage. So next is the 4 suite plus flexi, which is also having this area of a flexi room that you can actually convert if you need to a wider living room area. The developers, personally, I feel, wanted to enhance such that you can actually have more flexibility, because in this one you can also have a private lift lobby. So the next layout is the penthouse 4-bed. So this penthouse 4-bed doesn't have a private lobby, but of course you do have a very nice space over here, which personally I feel it's very rare, and there's actually a galley kitchen style, which is the kitchen that is a very huge kitchen where you can actually enjoy your cooking and of course hosting your families while they come to your unit. So another next unit of the penthouse is 5 plus study. So this 5 plus study penthouse unit, as you can see, very wide, and down here there's also a study, open study area. You can actually have a master bathroom with a bathtub, which is very rare even in today's launches, because seldom you see developers wanting to put such a large layout in this project. So next is the 5-bed flexi, where you also have a flexi room separately on to the side where it can double up as a study. So this one is actually very nice because there's also a very nice frontage. All the 5 bedrooms are actually facing in one direction. So this is a second 5-bedroom plus study layout for the penthouses, but it's much larger compared to the previous one. So for this itself, you can actually have a very large living room area where you can actually double up as a flexi room if you require, or you can actually allow your guests to actually come in to enjoy. Because imagine hosting your families in this area is actually very comfortable for them to actually come over, and even your friends to visit you. So now let's go to the craziest layout ever, the 6-bedroom plus study. So as you take a look at this, you can actually have a total of 6 bedrooms plus a study down here, which is honestly very rare. If you require, you can actually convert the study into another bedroom, but of course there's no windows lah. Okay, so imagine if you have a multi-generation family, what you do have is a 2-bedroom on the side, and the other side you have a 4-bedroom, which honestly is very rare because you have ample space for hosting in the middle, more interactions as a whole family. So this layout, actually I do feel it's going to hit multiple families that want to stay together and of course enhance their own livability. Of course, for my preference of layout, right, I personally feel that the 2-beders is going to be very attractively priced. But however, if I do not have a budget limit, actually I want to buy the 6-bedroom plus study because the layouts honestly do feel very comfortable, and as you can see, you have ample spaces of hosting. So let's understand a little bit more about site planning in terms of the project versus the surroundings. So for here, the developer actually had a concept of something similar to the Wessex estate, where there's actually a lot of colonial housing. It's actually being placed right next to the whole landed estate of the black and white colonial houses. So just imagine the facing of here, you actually do have very nice views of the far horizon because right in front is all the colonial houses. For this project, it is capitalizing on the greenery of the surrounding, and of course with that, there's actually dual views of the estate and the landscapes. It's actually very beautiful, where they actually plan a lot of surrounding areas for this project. And next thing I wanted to share with you, very special about this project compared to others, is we actually do have a tennis court. And one thing is that the whole One North area doesn't have tennis courts. So this may enhance your resale value in the future. So for this, actually all the car parks and how does it access. And next, this is the second story plan. Then of course, the roof gardens. You can actually see that on block 61 and 65, there's actually roof gardens down here. So with this, we can actually see the view overlooking this greenery of Cambridge Park. Then the next part of these views, you can actually see the whole estate, and like I mentioned to you, all these are all the colonial housing. So very nice views of this project, and as per this itself, you can actually see the greenery of Alexandra. So next, this is actually the 180 view from the unit itself, and all these are all very beautiful. So if you like what I shared with you so far, feel free to share with a friend that likes large floor plates like this. So for here in this project, we have special innovations of the first robotics and innovations in new launches residential. So such as the common area cleaning robot, secondly is the parcel delivery robot, and thirdly is the tennis ball picker robot, and next is the pool cleaning robot, and of course smart fitness mirrors where you can actually have some workouts being pre-programmed. Then of course you do have the soundproof office cabin where you can actually have work from home setups in the common facilities, and next is the virtual conference setup. So every unit is actually having a smart home installed for you. And right now let's move to the next pointer where we'll be talking about the pricing. So right now I'm actually going to share with you a little bit of pricing, where this is actually my own estimates. Developer, as of the recording of this video, hasn't released the pricing. So of course, if we have an updated one, actually I'll post it in the comments below. So let's talk about the two-bedders. I feel that the pricing the developer will launch is actually below 1.4, where it's actually very attractive. Of a 2-bed 1-bath. We actually have a 2-bed 2-bath. I feel that they will launch about 1.6. Then next is the 2-bed premium. Of course, the other 2-bath unit at 1.7, and subsequently the plus study unit, the one that I show you the layout of the show flat, where the study is actually very spacious. So this will be probably about 1.8, where we can actually see these are all the low floors, the mid floors, and I feel that on the upper tier it's the 3,000 range lah. Of course, this is actually based on my own estimates as of now. Right now, the developers haven't announced any of the pricing. So I feel that the 4-bed suite will be about 3.5 million, which is very palatable for some of the buyers, where they actually want to look for the units over here. And of course, the 3-bedders is about 2.3 to about 2.8 million for the larger premium units. So if you'd like to have this pricing analysis that I've done for Bloomsbury, do reach out to me. I'll actually gladly send it to you. So right now, let's dive straight into the exit strategy of the project. So for the exit strategy, we must actually understand a little bit more of the location. Actually, we are next to Portsdown Road, which is next to a BTO cluster nearby. So in this itself, we must understand a little bit more about the HDBs surrounding us. As per mentioned in my previous video, we must have BTOs nearby in order to support your selling prices in the future. So let's dive straight into it. So actually here we have something called the groundbreaker advantage. We have a lot of land plots upcoming, like a new township that you can actually consider. Moving ahead, there's a lot of plans for the land plot where developers actually can buy and actually start to sell, because government plan to have a lot more housing areas in the media circle area. It's actually to cater to the housing demand. This is actually one advantage for your exit strategies in the future. So as we move ahead, this is actually what happened in terms of the 2019 master plan compared to the latest update. You can actually see that there's a lot of areas of education converted to residential, business park and all that. So just imagine if you buy into this, government is actually spending a lot more money to actually enhance this area to be more livable, and of course commuting to work is simpler for many people. So this is another part to consider. We are over here, Bloomsbury is over here, and what does this mean for you is that we actually have a lot more land plots upcoming in the future. So currently in the One North area, right now we are in the South cluster, where it's actually a lot of new planning areas where there's a lot of land plots. So all these are land plots of the future. So in conclusion, I personally feel that this area is a very underrated area in Singapore. This is the first plot of land in this RCR region that is in the new township. And secondly is that we have a lot of BTO support nearby in this area where you can actually have more upgraders in the future. And last but not least, this area does have layouts that are very rare and you don't see them in many projects in Singapore. So of course, with this, if you need another advice on to how to analyze your own property purchase or even upgrading journey, feel free to reach out and I'll actually share more with you on to how to plan your own journey. Also, if you like this video, feel free to like, share and subscribe, and of course, hit the notifications bell to get notified for more videos like this where I'll be posting every week. And I look forward to see you in the next one. Cheers everyone.